We got some Monday Night Football tonight, and it is a get-back game for the Green Bay Packers as they had to wait, and we had to wait an extra day to sit on that loss to the Carolina Panthers 8 days ago. But now everything can be right with the world if you just beat the Philadelphia Eagles at home in Lambeau tonight. Coming up on today's show, it's a preview episode, so that means we're going to go into a little bit of scouting on the Eagles. Then I'm going to give you 5 keys to victory against Philadelphia. And then I'm going to wrap this thing up with my score prediction for tonight's game. Let's start with the scouting. They are currently sitting at 6-2. They own the number 1 seed in the entire NFC. They benefited greatly from both the Lions and the Packers losing last Sunday while they were on their bye week. Nick Sirianni, their head coach, is in the middle of his 5th year in Philadelphia, and he has a whopping 7-11 win percentage. Kevin Patullo is their new offensive coordinator after Kellen Moore took the head coaching job with the Saints, and let's just be real here, he's kind of struggled this season. Their offense has had dips, and peaks, and valleys. Vic Fangio, their defensive coordinator, he's an elite defensive mind. A lot of people giving him a ton of credit for them winning that Super Bowl last season. And they've got great offensive weapons. Even though their offense has struggled to find consistency so far in 2025, they still have Saquon. They still have A.J. Brown. They still have Devontae Smith. They got a great offensive line. They got a good quarterback. This is a good team that needs to be taken seriously and obvious. They're 6-2, number 1 seed in the NFC until tonight. Speaking of tonight, and speaking of tonight's game, if you want them to win it, like the video. You know how I know that this actually works? These are our 2 least liked preview videos. And those are also the only 2 losses this season. If you want the Green Bay Packers to win, we need to get to 200 likes on today's show. It's in your hands, or it's in your thumbs. Number 1, key to victory, take away Saquon Barkley. And I can already hear you guys from the other side of the screen. You're already saying, Joey, what do you mean take away Saquon Barkley? Saquon Barkley actually hasn't had that great of a season so far this year. 519 yards through 8 games, 127 carries, 4.1 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. Guys, I don't care if he's having a little bit of a down year due to Saquon Barkley standards. He's still Saquon Barkley. And he's also going to be coming off of his best game this year against the New York Giants, where he rushed for he had 14 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown. His first game above 100 yards this season. Of course, he was going to show out against his former team. Look, guys, Saquon is Saquon. He can bite you at any moment. He's coming off his best game and also coming off of a bye week where he just got a little bit extra rest and recovery. And the other reason why you want to take away Saquon Barkley isn't just because he can hurt you. It's just because Jalen Hurts also is not nearly as good when this offense is not balanced. If you look Jalen Hurts in the eyes and you make him beat you with his arm, that's going to set your defense up for the most success. He's got a great deep ball. Weirdly enough, everything else, like 50 yards and in, he really, really struggles with finding consistency. So take away Saquon so he doesn't hurt you, and also so Jalen Hurts has to use his arm. Who you got? Packers, Eagles. Type GB or Philly in the comment section down below. Claim your allegiance right now. And if you're typing PHI, well, then never come back. Key to victory, number 2, red zone scoring. I put this one in bold. If I could put it in red text to really emphasize it, I would. But unfortunately, that's impossible. Against Carolina, it's the reason you lost that game. You scored a touchdown 20% of the time you were in the red zone. 20%. You were 1 for 5 in red zone scoring. And you just made mistake after mistake after mistake. Savion Williams fumbled the opening drive. You were gashing Carolina, and then that possession's gone. Brandon McManus had a chance to make a field goal. He missed it. Matt Lafleur has already talked about his health issues he's dealing with. They came up, and they came up in a big way against Carolina. And then also the failed 4th down conversion, where you, for some reason, out of a timeout, went for it on 4th down and 8. And this wasn't a problem early, but it's been a problem as of late. Over the last 3 games, you're a 50% team when it comes to red zone touchdown scoring, 20th best in the National Football League. That is bottom half, ladies and gentlemen. And Philadelphia defensively, they get good in the red area. 46.15 red zone touchdown percentage defensively. That's third best in the NFL. You have to win this battle. You must win this battle. And if you can win this battle, I can promise you that's going to help you win this game a whole lot more if you can take those good drives and make them great. Something that is also great is our friends over at Underdog. We're talking a lot about Eagles. We're talking about Packers. Let's talk about Underdog because they're our favorite sponsor. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase. If you download the app today and sign up with promo code Packers Report, you score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Here's my Underdog lineup for Monday Night Football. Give me the higher on Jordan Love, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Feel like he's going to come back with a vengeance after that game against Carolina. Give me the lower on Saquon Barkley rush yards, 77.5. And give me the higher on Luke Musgrave, 2.5 receptions. Feel like he's going to come up big in replacement of Tucker Kraft. I at least think he's going to get the ball a decent bit. So download the app today. Sign up with promo code Packers Report. Score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 or older. 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 or older in Colorado for some games. 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing-terms_DFS_HTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call 24/7 helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-Y or text HOPE-Y 467-369. The cornerbacks need to be on their P's and Q's. The CBs need to be on their PQs, okay? Look, I get it. I talked a lot about Jalen Hurts not being that great of a pocket passing quarterback. And while I believe that is true, the other thing I believe that is true is that they've got some elite wide receivers. This is one of, if not the best wide receiver duo in football. I'd probably put it at third behind T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Then you got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And they both had pretty good seasons. And again, you got to realize the Philadelphia Eagles offense just as a whole is kind of taking a little bit of a step back. But still, 588 for Devontae Smith, 395 for A.J. Brown, 5 touchdowns combined. Look at Devontae Smith's long, 79 yards. He can hurt you at any point in the field in an absolute instant. So Keyshawn Nixon, Harrington Valentine, I need you guys to be at your absolute best. Carrington Valentine, I've been very, very impressed with how he's been playing recently. Keyshawn Hobbs has taken a little bit of a regression back towards the mean of what I think we expected going into this season. He started it off as one of the best cornerbacks in football, and he's regressed a little bit, but still, I don't care about any of that. I need you both to play good football because you're going to be guarding really good wide receivers. And if Philly is able to gash you in the pass, then that's just going to open up the run for them. And that's where we don't want to be. We don't want to be in the spot where Saquon Barkley is, ripping off 15-yard chunk plays, 20-yard chunk plays, and then ultimately break ones for 40 because we know he can do that at the drop of a hat. Number 4, put the ball in Jordan Love's hands. Matt Lafleur, I hope you're watching. I know you're probably not. Actually, you're an NFL head coach. You're the Green Bay Packers head coach. I actually hope you're not watching right now. I hope you're not on YouTube. But regardless, put the ball in Jordan Love's hands. Peter Bukowski tweeted this out. I believe we went to this on Wednesday's show, Gage. The Packers had a negative 9.8% pass rate over expectation against the Panthers. If I'm going to dumb that down and explain it to a 3-year-old, the Packers passed way less than they should have against Carolina. They played conservative for no reason. Coming off of a game where Jordan Love completed 20 straight passes. It makes no sense. And another reason I want this team to put the ball into Jordan Love's hands is because the offensive line has not been blocking well when it comes to running the football whatsoever. The Packers are 29th, bottom 4 in yards before contact per carry. It's got to change. It's got to be different. Okay? Jordan Love this season has already proved himself. He did it against Pittsburgh. Okay? 20 straight completions. I, frankly, would have said he did it even before that game. But if you were a Jordan Love, I don't want to say hater, but if you were wary of him going into this year, he proved his worth against the Steelers. He could do it again tonight if you just give him the chance to. It's just funny because we came into this year and we said, you know what? This offense runs through Josh Jacobs and runs through running the football. But now, 9 weeks through the season, almost 10 after tonight, it feels like it might be the opposite. It feels a little bit like it might be this offense is its best when you pass it first with Jordan Love, and then Josh Jacobs takes advantage of the defense having to play off a little bit lighter boxes. What's your score prediction for Packers versus Eagles? Let me know in the comment section. I got one more key to victory. And while I'm getting into that, get down in the comments and let me know your score prediction. Number 5, this is one that you've seen a lot. You've heard a lot. And it's just because it continues to ring true. You got to be able to make the play late. This is what Green Bay couldn't do against Carolina. They couldn't do it against Cleveland. They couldn't do it against Dallas. Think of that Carolina game. When I say make the play late, I don't just mean offensively. I mean defensively. Can you step up? Can you make a stop? Can you force a turnover? Offense, can you get that big first down? Can you convert on that 4th down attempt? Can you make that big catch, make that big throw? Defense, can you get that big sack? Micah did it against Arizona. He did it against Pittsburgh. Can you do it against Philadelphia? These are 2 great teams, 2 great rosters, 2 teams that have a pretty good chance to meet up again in the NFC Championship game. It's going to come down to the wire. You're not going to win this one easy. I can promise you that. So who's going to be able to make that play late? That's who's going to win this football game. And I think that's Green Bay Packers, 20-17. That's the score. It's funny. Just when this team loses to bad teams, it feels like this season is over, and it feels like they're never going to win another game. It would be so like this team this year. A team of unpredictability. To lose against Carolina and then just come back and beat the number 1 seed in the NFC. I think they do it. But I think it's close. I think it's low scoring. That's going to do it for today's show. Social media, Joey Petersen, both platforms. Make sure you subscribe. You want the Packers to win tonight? Sub for Packers Dubs.